is kindergarten first, and then today, as compared to yesterday's meeting, we have some second graders coming. And today our topic is gonna be about Zoom. So we're gonna be going through, I've got a few videos that we're gonna go over, and what we're gonna be, this is very interactive, hopefully like maybe yesterday. I know second grade, when I had you guys with me, we went over a lot of different things, and we stopped a lot to talk about the different buttons on the computer and how to use them and how to get into Google Classroom. So today with Zoom, we're going to be using a lot of the different buttons. So I'm going to be asking everybody to stop and like we'll do a thumbs up when you are able to do it on your own computer, okay? Does that sound good for everybody? We'll do a thumbs up and maybe we'll do some fun things and put our hand on our head or something. Very good, you guys. All right, so that's what we're gonna be doing today, is we're gonna go through all the different buttons on the bottom of your screen in Zoom and maybe some of the ones on the top side. For sure, the things that will help you when you're in your meetings with your school teacher, okay, with Ms. Salazar and me. A lot of it maybe will be review if you've been here all last semester with us, but for sure, I bet you're gonna learn one or two things that you didn't know before, okay? So as we go through, that's what I'm gonna be asking you guys to do today. Hold off any questions until afterwards, but I'll be asking, and Ms. Salazar will be monitoring too, that if you have a question that just fits in with what we're talking about, we'll be keeping an eye out, and I don't mind if we stop just for a little bit to help out if you're having trouble trying to find a button or something on the bottom. If it's something that can't wait, we can stop for sure, but we'll try and hold off all your questions until afterwards, and we'll spend some time doing that. We might even go into breakout rooms today and answer questions that way. I know my second graders, we haven't done breakout rooms yet this year. So we'll try and do it that way too, to learn more about breakout rooms. All right. So it looks like, I think we're good. It's 8:34. We picked up a few more students by having me just talking there for a little bit. So fantastic, you guys. All right. Well, my name is Mr. Perez for the kindergartners and the first graders that are there. Of course, the second graders know me already because I'm their teacher. Again, today we're going to be talking about Zoom, and not so much how to get in, because obviously you already know how to get in because you're here at our meeting today, but it's more how to use it as we're showing Zoom classroom to you guys throughout the school day. When you guys come into reading groups, or when you come to for me, it's the 8:15 meetings, and with Ms. Salazar, the 8 o'clock meetings, or when you come to Mindful Moose on Fridays, maybe we'll be asking you as teachers to do some things differently instead of just watching us, and how to use some of those buttons so you can interact with us better, okay? So, first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna share a screen, and we're gonna be talking about sharing a screen. We still have, I know some students that aren't sure how to use share screen. And that's one of the first things that I know I do, and probably Ms. Salazar does the same thing. So that's part of the stuff that we're gonna be talking about today, is sharing a screen. So I'm gonna do that first, and we're gonna watch a short video. And I learned how to do that, Ms. Salazar. That's part of sharing a screen. There's a button that is new that has the volume control on it for videos.
It's nice.
It is, and I didn't know that. That was brand new. So that's something. Let me share a screen. We're gonna watch a video on YouTube, and I'm gonna stop it every once in a while, and I'm gonna ask you to push that button, okay? So one of the first things before I go is, if you move your mouse, can everybody do this for me, is move your mouse, and you're gonna see a toolbar come up across the bottom of your screen. Give me a thumbs up if you can see that toolbar, okay? Give me a thumbs. I see a Noah with a thumbs down. Uh-oh. If you move your mouse, fantastic, you guys. And I see some of you already know how to use some of the reactions. So perfect. So if you move your mouse a little bit, a toolbar will come across the bottom of your screen. So those are the things that we're going to be talking about. All right. So let me share a screen. Ms. Salazar, I think you're acting as the host. You have me disabled.
Sorry. Hold on.
That's fine. We're gonna have to do this at 10 o'clock also. I don't
Okay.
know.
I
Talk
think I
about
got
it.
it. Is it working?
Yep. I was finding the share sound link again. All right, you guys. So we're going to do a little bit of a PowerPoint real quick before I jump into some of our topics for today. So, want to know about Zoom for today, never stop learning. So you talked about, for us, for the second graders signing into your Chromebook yesterday, you talked about the iPads with your teacher. I was working with my second and third graders this morning. I'm not sure if that link works or not. We'll check to be sure. But I found out last week for everybody that there is an update in Zoom, and I'm not sure if it automatically loads for you. It didn't for me, but for the students, it might automatically load for you when you get on every day. For me, it wasn't, but that's a link for you to download the latest program of Zoom that has the latest things that we'll be talking about today, okay? We'll be talking about all these different things on the tools and controls today, how to rename yourself, raising your hand. Some of you are already doing that. How to work in the chat. Some of you are already doing that. I saw using the different reaction buttons, the camera on, using the virtual backgrounds. I have a little video about how to use virtual backgrounds, and we'll have everybody pick a background today just to show you how it works. Mute and unmuting. And I see most of you are already muted. You'll see in the little corner of your screen, there's a little red with an X across, and that means your microphone is muted. Waiting rooms. Today we didn't use a waiting room, but we'll talk a little bit about them. I had problems yesterday that we'll talk about for waiting rooms of don't leave if you're in it. We'll do breakout rooms today, I mentioned. And then on some of the videos, it'll talk about getting out of the full screen and showing the different tabs. Yesterday, you probably talked about the tabs on top. And a lot of students were having problems with, once you're in Zoom, trying to figure out how to get back into a tab and do both at the same time. When I'm sharing screens, a lot of my students weren't sure how to do that. So we'll talk about that today too. And then the links, it's kind of the same thing. And then if we have time, we'll get into Zoom etiquette and some of our rules. But already just seeing you guys are great as far as following the rules of raising your hand, being quiet, being respectful, all those wonderful things, okay? Let me go to my links.
Hi students! In this video, we will explore how to use Zoom for a class meeting. First, click on the Zoom link from your teacher. It might be in your Google Classroom or your email, but once you click that link, it'll open up your Zoom meeting.
Well,
the first thing you might see is a box that asks you to enter your password. So go ahead and enter the password that your teacher gave you. And click Join with Video. Then you will be taken to a waiting room. When your teacher lets you in, you will be able to see your teacher and the other students. So my teacher just let me in. And now I am in my Zoom meeting. And I'm going to click Join with Computer Audio. Sometimes when you enter your meeting, you might automatically be put on mute if your teacher has that setting. And if the window is too small and you would like it bigger, you can go up to this top bar here and click on this maximize icon. It looks like a square, and that will make your Zoom window larger. And you can see here's my teacher right here, and here are the other students in my class. So if you want to get out of the Zoom window, you can click this minimize button here. It'll make that window very small, and you'll be able to see the person speaking here. And if I want to open it back up, this icon that looks like something's popping out will maximize the video again. And sometimes this top bar up here is hiding, and that might be because you are in full screen mode. So you can see right here, when I highlight this square, it says enter full screen. When I click on that, it makes my screen a little bit larger and I no longer have that bar across the top. So I can't minimize or close out, click the X
All
or
right, you guys,
maximize.
I'm gonna stop sharing and we're gonna do that together. We're gonna do both things that they just talked about. Remember, you're gonna give me a thumbs up for now once you do it. And Miss Salazar, can they unmute themselves or no?
Let me check
Do you
really,
have that setting?
let me double check.
Can they do it? Curtis, can you
Okay,
unmute yourself?
I
Okay.
fixed it.
All right, so first thing we're gonna do for everybody in the left side, so your left hand, go down to the bottom of the screen, move your mouse, and in the left side, there's gonna be the toolbar. You're gonna click on the little microphone that has a red across it. And I can see if you clicked it or not by looking at your screen. Can everybody move their mouse to the left side or the corner? And there's a little microphone.
So for
It's
my
on your,
friends that have
go ahead.
iPads, you just touch your screen. Touch your screen,
Oh.
and then the little thing should pop up. Okay? Sorry.
No, go ahead. I forgot about the iPad, so go ahead. Definitely. Ryan, did you do it? Did you unmute yourself? Yeah? Is it?
So
How's
you guys
everybody
can go
doing?
ahead and click to unmute yourself. So like when you're talking to me and I say, go ahead and unmute, like if we're in reading group or something, click that microphone, practice clicking it, turn it on, and then turn it off again.
How's everybody doing? Curtis, can you unmute yourself?
Says host muted. Let's see. It says
Yeah.
that I'm allowing everyone to unmute themselves. I wonder if since there's multiple hosts, it's not working right. Because everyone's saying that it says the host is muted. So I wonder if since there's multiple hosts,
Maybe that's the
why it's
issue.
not working right now.
Okay. Sorry, guys. It doesn't look like it's going to work for us for mute or unmute. When we go back into our regular classes with Miss Salazar and me, we'll practice the mute and unmute. How about if we go up to the upper right-hand corner, in the video, it was showing you how to make it a large screen or a small screen, minimize or maximize, it talked about. And yet different views. So in the corner, we're gonna go from the lower left, we're gonna go to the upper right corner and change the view that you have, okay? And I'm gonna share a screen. I think it'll share my screen, yeah. This is what everybody's gonna do. I'm gonna go back to our video a little bit, but move your mouse and in this upper corner, it says speaker view and full screen. I think that's what it says, Miss Salazar, on ours, or it says something different.
Yeah. And then if for my friends with iPads, I think you just have to literally just touch your screen, just tap it, and then your little
In order
bar
to do
pop
that,
up.
I need to exit.
Sorry, I touched the video too. Curtis, can you see that on yours? In the upper corner, change the setting for exit full screen and into full screen? Yeah,
My friends, can you guys
it
see it?
works. I'm gonna do a stop sharing because mine has view. My normal one has view instead. It doesn't have that exact thing. I see a thumbs down.
I see
We'll
some.
keep going. When we go in our separate classes, we'll keep working on this together. But those are just some of the settings that you can right away play with. And it gives different views also of the speaker and different views of all the classmates that are inside the Zoom room at the same time, okay? I'm gonna keep going and we'll stop and try another one for us, okay?
Full screen. So see right here, it says exit full screen. When I click on that, I have my bar at the top again. Another nice feature to know is the view feature. So right now it has everyone side by side. If I had a class of 30 students, everyone's pictures would be up, but it would be much smaller. This is called gallery view. Sometimes you might want to be in speaker view, or your teacher might ask you to be in speaker view. You'll see up here, it actually disappeared for a second. So if you don't move your mouse, many of your controls will disappear. The controls I had along the top and along the bottom disappeared. But when I move my mouse, they appear again. So right up here, it says speaker view. I'm going to switch to speaker view by clicking on that. Now I'm in speaker view, and it shows that the person speaking is this student here. If my teacher started speaking, her picture would be really large right here. So this is speaker view. And now this button has turned into gallery view. So when I click back on that button, I'm taken back to gallery view where I can see each of the students and teachers. So those are some nice features to know about. I also wanted to show you how to access something outside of Zoom. If your teacher asks you to open Google Classroom or Google Doc, you'll go back up to this minimize bar. And remember, if your teacher, if you're not able to find this bar, it might be because you are in full screen mode. So remember, you need to click exit full screen and then click minimize. When you minimize, you'll have a small Zoom window here with a picture of whoever is speaking. And then you can click your Google Classroom or whatever your teacher asks you to find. And you can still see the people speaking in your in your Zoom window right here. Okay, so you can click into that.
And then
let me maximize this video.
Yeah, we're going to stop it right there.
To know about is
let's stop it right there. I think that's a good stopping
No, you're
point.
good.
So,
for my friends, what you guys will do, because you guys will not have that little minimize bar, you guys have the little home button. So the little button that you push on your iPad, you guys can push that little button and then you'll still keep your little Zoom icon, but then that way you can go to different apps, or like yesterday we talked about getting the Google Classroom app, getting the Google Drive app. That way, if we're on Zoom and I say, okay, I want you guys to go to your Google Classroom and find this activity. I want you guys to know, okay, we're in Zoom, it's full screen. I'm going to click my home button, the little button. You only have one button on your iPad. You click it once, and then it opens up to your apps, okay? And that's how you guys can kind of navigate around your iPad, all right?
I see some thumbs up. Can you, Miss Salazar students, can you guys do that for us? Click on your home button.
Can you
and
try
then
to do that and make sure it works for me?
Fantastic. Curtis and Ryan, I think are my only ones here today. Can you guys play with, in the corner, those different buttons on top, the minimize and maximize, the minus button, and then the full screen buttons, and see what it does for you? Just up in the upper right-hand corner on yours, it should be like 3 different buttons: minimize, maximize, different view, about changing how it looks with me in the center, who's talking in the center. I see Ryan, fantastic. And then with all the students who are present, you can give a picture of all of them also. And then minimize, push the minus button, and then you can see all the tabs behind it. A lot of times I ask you guys to do that, right? Is go to Google Classroom or something. So you hit the minus button, exit full screen, kind of click in that corner for me and play with those buttons. All right. I think we're good. We'll keep going, you guys. Good job. Oh, I see a comment in there, Miss Salazar.
Let's see, that's just one of your students checking in.
Okay.
I'll double check.
Here we go.
And unmute buttons. So right here, I have my audio mute. You can see there's a red slash through my microphone. That means I'm on mute. So right now, my teachers and my classmates cannot hear me. But when I unclick that, then I am no longer mute. Ooh, that is very loud. I have lots of computers on, so there's a lot of feedback and a lot of noise. But you can tell when I clicked unmute, then the other students and the other teachers can hear me. You won't have that problem because you won't have many computers on the same meeting in the same room. So right here is your mute and your unmute. You click it once to unmute and speak to your teacher and classmates, and you click it one time to mute again so no one can hear you. You might have seen when I clicked unmute, it didn't have that red slash anymore. I'm going to try it again and see if it doesn't make that crazy sound, just so you can see what it looks like. Oh, that hurts my ears. So you can see that my microphone didn't have that red slash anymore, and the other participants, the other students and teachers could hear me speaking. And this is your video. You can stop or start your video. Right now, I can see myself on my screen. That means other people can see me. So if I click stop video, then my video doesn't show anymore. I'm on mute right now and I can see because I have a red mic in the corner of my picture, so no one can hear me and no one can see me. But I could have my video muted where no one can see me, and I could unmute my mic so that people could hear me. I'm not going to do that because it makes that crazy sound, but do know you can have your video stopped, but you could unmute your mic so people can hear you. I'm going to start my video again, and there I am. And there are another couple of shortcuts that help you with muting and unmuting, and I want to show those to you now. So I'm going to minimize this and open up another window that I have. Most likely you will be working on your Chromebook, your district Chromebook, and this hopefully is what your keyboard looks like. So one tool that you have is to mute and unmute your audio by clicking and holding Alt and then clicking and holding A. When you hold Alt and A one time, that will unmute your mic. And if your mic is unmuted and you press Alt and A one more time, that will put your microphone on mute. Sometimes it's hard to move your mouse and click the button, so it might be easier just to click Alt A. And you can.
I'm going to stop sharing. Ms. Salazar, on the iPads, is there a shortcut for that too, or no?
I haven't found anything.
Okay.
I think just since it's like all touch screen.
Gotcha.
But
Curtis, can you find the A and the Alt on yours? Just like how it's showing? And Ryan also, I think, was there too. Find the A and the Alt, and that will, an easy way for mute and unmute is what we're talking about, okay? So next time we'll do that.
Remember that it's an A for audio. Another quick shortcut is muting and unmuting your video, or starting and stopping your video, your picture. You can click and hold Alt and then click V, and that will start your video. And when you click Alt and V again, that will stop your video. That might be quicker than using your mouse. And you can remember video because it's a V. I'm not sure if you can see this window down here, but this is the window for my Zoom meeting. So if your teacher's sharing your screen or if you're looking at something, you can move this window around to move it out of the way. Another shortcut for your audio, for your sound, is the space bar. That might work on your Chromebook. If you are muted and you want to talk to your teacher, you could quickly press the space bar and unmute. And if you're ready to mute again, you can press it again to mute your audio. All right, hopefully that was helpful in getting you started with Zoom.
All right, you guys, we're gonna end there. That was a few buttons for us. And I know some of you have iPads and we have a few students. I saw Scarlett come in also, fantastic, is follow along with us, whatever you have, to see how it will work with the controls you have on the bottom. We're gonna keep going. I'm gonna share a screen again and go back to the, we're gonna exit. I'm like you guys, here we go, exit. Maybe.
One last thing to show you is how to leave.
How to leave. Miss Salazar, where am I at? How come I can't?
So push escape.
There it is, exit full screen. It's like, I couldn't find the exit. It was underneath. I was like, how do I get out of that? Oh my gosh. Okay. Thanks, guys. Let me keep going. Here we go. So sharing a screen, that's what I've just been doing. So let's watch this one about sharing a
In this
screen.
video, you'll learn how to share content within a Zoom meeting. Simply select Share Screen at the bottom of your meeting window to get started.
All right, we're just gonna do 2 buttons real quick. So we're gonna hit Share Screen. You're not gonna share it, but I think, even if you're not a host, I think you can push the button and something will come up. So I want everybody at the bottom of your screen, it's a green button, is hit Share Screen and give me a thumbs up. If you don't see it, just move your mouse and the bar will come up, okay? I saw Bella do it, so fantastic job. I'm gonna stop sharing. Give me a thumbs up, just hit share screen so you know where it's at, okay? I know my students, Scarlett, Curtis, you've got it. Fantastic, Scarlett. Noah, again, is a thumbs down. And then it'll just be a little bit different again for the different students. Okay. Thumbs up, all right? So when your teacher, when Miss Salazar or me asks, there's some other things that will come up. I'm not sure if it's gonna come up because you guys aren't the host, is it's gonna ask you, for my students, it asks for a desktop, a pop-up comes up, desktop or application. And as a student, everybody's gonna be hitting desktop for now. And then you hit share. So you hit the green button on the bottom of your screen, share screen, then you're gonna hit desktop, and then share, and then it goes, all right? And so when we ask you to do it, always ask your teacher. It seems like sometimes each computer just has a little bit different between most of my students are on the Chromebook, some have laptops. So sometimes it's just a little different questions for some reason, but desktop is what you wanna hit, okay, for sharing a screen. We'll be doing more and more, I think of that for the second semester, is doing share screen in the different groups and things that we're doing, okay? See a couple thumbs up. So that's practicing how to share a screen. And then if you are sharing a screen, your teacher is gonna be telling you what to do and move your mouse around and stuff. It helps a lot. Usually that's what I always do when a student is having problems. The first thing I do is let's share a screen. Let's have a Zoom meeting and let's share a screen and try and solve it. That's what we're asking you to do, is push on that green share screen button, all right? So we can see exactly what you're doing at the same time. So I'm gonna, fantastic, I see a lot of thumbs up. We're gonna share screen again, and we're gonna go on the next, okay, Miss Salazar, there it is. Sorry, guys.
I know, right? When you go to click it,
It's like it's right in that corner. That's why I couldn't find it last time. All right, so let's go to our next video. That's all I wanted to cover for sharing a screen. Now we're gonna do breakout rooms. Can they do breakout rooms, Miss Salazar, on the
let me
iPad?
double check. Let
Okay.
me check the settings.
We'll do breakout rooms. And if you're in charge, maybe you'll be doing.
Hey everyone, Farah from Zoom here. On this brief video, we're going to show you how you can leverage our breakout room feature to take a large meeting or virtual classroom and split it up into smaller groups or sessions. You'll see that I have already enabled the breakout room feature, which you can find in your settings along the bottom. And that breakout room button will actually be right here. This is a button that only your hosts or co-hosts will be able to see. And right now we don't have a co-host in the session. If I manage my participants, I can hover over Catherine, for example, to make her a co-host. So she'll see this button now as well. When we're ready to split the group into smaller sessions, I can easily click this button to get a pop-up window asking me how many rooms I'd like to assign out and how many participants per room. For this example, it's recommending, since there are 6 people, we can split it up into 2 rooms. I can do this automatically or manually. So if we click on the automatic button, it'll generate those breakout rooms for us. Certainly, if there's anyone I want to swap out, maybe I want to move Michael to the other room, I can exchange him for a different participant. Once I'm ready to open all rooms, I'll click this Open All Rooms button, and our participants will be able to join the sessions that we've created for them. So we'll slowly see those people join. One thing that's really important to note is that as a host or a co-host, you can actually hop between the different rooms to talk to the participants. You can see here, I have the join button. Now everybody's left to go to the rooms. I can broadcast a message to everybody and say, wrapping up in 1 minute. And this will broadcast the message. And then I can close the rooms, which gives them a 1 minute timer to rejoin our session. We'll give everybody a second to rejoin, and I'll show you 1 or 2 additional features with breakout rooms. There we go. We can kind of see everybody kind of popping back in. Now everybody's rejoined the main session. You'll see that I have the opportunity to reopen these rooms again, which is really great. If you have a very long session or a very long virtual class, you can split into these virtual smaller groups as often as you'd like. And the additional options here will allow you to automatically close breakout rooms after a specified amount of time. You can also change the countdown timer to be 30 seconds or 2 minutes if you like. I'll show you a setting where you can also pre-assign folks to be in
All
your
right, you
breakout
guys,
rooms
this is
before the
where we're
classroom
gonna
starts.
stop.
So
I'm gonna
I
exit
have
full screen.
the breakout
Go
rooms
ahead.
ready. I
All right.
created 2 rooms. Let's see here.
Let me stop sharing real quick. All right, have you done breakout rooms yet, Miss Salazar, with your students?
Only with like reading group to just progress monitor. So not
Okay.
not
That's
really.
it. Okay, so breakout rooms, you guys, I know a lot of my students, I've only used them a few times with a few students. Sounds like same with Miss Salazar. Breakout rooms, pretend that you're in the classroom and we have tables set up around the classroom in separate groups. And we ask you and 3 other students to go to a table. That's what a breakout room is, okay? So right now we're in the whole classroom together, and a breakout room is gonna be sending a few students to a separate table or a room, we call it in Zoom. So when you go to that table to work with your group, then when you're done as teachers, we ask you to come back to your desk, maybe, if you have desks in your room. So that's what we're gonna do, pretend that this is the main desk area that we're in right now. We're going to send you to your tables in groups, and then you're going to come back, okay? And we're going to announce it, or you're going to have a little pop-up that comes up on your screen that says, come back to the main group, all right? Come back to this one. So Miss Salazar is going to click, and on your screen, it's going to, I think for you as a student, you might have to click yes or
I think you have to click join.
join.
It will ask you to join, so you'll click join, and then make sure that, like, say that we're actually in class doing this, that you don't leave that breakout room, like leave the meeting, because I noticed that's kind of what happened when I did breakout rooms one time, is some of us left the meeting. So stay in that room, and then if I send a message, the meeting or the breakout room will close in 30 seconds. Then that's when you guys click join class or join back, but don't click leave meeting, because I think it gives you that option. So make sure that you click join, whatever it is it might be. You guys can tell me after we do this what it'll say. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do breakout rooms now, and we'll only do them for like 30 seconds.
And then come back.
And then we'll come back.
All right,
Okay,
bye guys. Click on join and then come back.
Okay, so good. Some of us are going.
All right, I got unmuted. Thank you. All right, fantastic, you guys. You were able to go to a breakout room. So I know this semester we'll probably start using breakout rooms more and more often throughout this part of the school year. I'm doing different things. I'm going to try and incorporate them more. Let's keep going. Great job, you guys. I'm going to share a screen again, and we're going to go through some of the buttons on the bottom in this next video, and we'll stop and we'll do the same thing, okay? We'll stop and start as we go. No, we don't need a commercial.
The sound isn't working.
Okay. Thank you. I bet I didn't click the share sound button. Now that I know that that's usually the issue, we'll try this again. Let me know
last
if
few
it-
weeks, there are a lot of new
Yeah.
resources out there for people teaching a class with Zoom, but there aren't as many for students who might be calling into a class with Zoom from home. So what I'm going to do in this video is go over some of the key features in Zoom as a participant instead of as a host, and hopefully hit on many of the points that you'll need to use when dialing into a class as a student. I am joined today by several of my coworkers, and to keep things as realistic as possible, I'm still in sweatpants, haven't showered yet, and at some point you might hear a screaming child in the background. So when you first join a meeting, you're probably going to see something like this where you have what's called a gallery view of all the participants in the meeting, but I'd recommend ignoring that. And the first thing you want to do is check to see if you are muted. There's a button in the bottom left with the little microphone symbol, and you can click that to mute yourself. Now, you might wonder if I'm muted, how you can still hear me right now. That's because I'm using separate screen recording software called Camtasia instead of recording this through Zoom. So even though it says I'm muted here, you can still hear me in this YouTube video. Now, depending on your host's meeting settings, you might be muted automatically when you join, but it's always a good idea to check this, and in general, it's good etiquette to mute yourself when you are not talking. This will prevent background noise or dogs barking or other people talking in your house or anything from being picked up and broadcasted to the other meeting participants. The same applies to video. Again, depending on your host settings, this might be turned off automatically, but if you're a student dialing into a bunch of different classes, your teachers or professors might all have different settings. So again, it's a good idea to check. If you don't want people to see that you're still eating breakfast in your pajamas, you can turn that off, and your name or a static background image will show up if you have that selected. I'm going to leave both of those on for now. And the next problem you might run into here is either you won't be able to hear whoever's talking, or other people might tell you they can't see you or they can't hear you. So if you're just on a laptop with a built-in microphone and a built-in webcam, this usually isn't as much of an issue. Same if you're on a tablet or a phone. But if you are using anything with external speakers, a USB webcam, USB microphone, headset, any of that, you're going to want to hit the up arrow next to the mute button, and it will give you options to select a microphone and select a speaker. So on this computer, you can see I have a different webcam and microphone plugged in. I have different speaker options. So if you're not getting sound or other people are saying they can't hear you, this is the first place you want to check to make sure you have the right audio input.
I'm going to stop there. Is that during the first semester, I had quite a few students, 3 or 4 students, that when they were talking, we couldn't hear them. And we looked and we looked and we couldn't figure it out. And it was that arrow button right there. And we would then click on audio settings, which is the last one right there. We'd click on audio setting. And then it comes up with a volume, a little blue line that goes across. And we were wanting their blue line to be all the way over. And then we could hear them. And for some reason, somehow it stopped being connected. I don't know. Somebody went in there and readjusted it or something. So real quick, well, I think he does one more thing. We'll keep going, and then we'll play with those buttons.
selected. If you still can't figure it out, there is this test speaker and microphone option. So this will give you a little pop-up. And I don't know if you'll be able to hear that playing in the background. It will play a test ringtone. This helps you identify if the problem is on your end, or say the person you're speaking to, if it's their microphone that's not working as opposed to your speakers. If the problem is on your end, or say the person you're speaking to, if it's their microphone that's not working as opposed to yours. So there you see it recorded my voice and played it back to me to confirm that my microphone was working. So again, if you're having audio trouble, that's the first place you want to go. For the video, there's an option a lot of people have been having fun with lately called Choose Virtual Background. So if you don't want everybody to see how messy your house is, you can upload an image.
All right, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna stop right there. And I want everybody to go to that button. Does everybody see where we're at? We're on the arrow, the second arrow next to the video camera. Is that on the iPads, Miss Salazar? Or no?
I'm not sure.
On
Can
there?
my parents, can you guys see it?
Can you guys see where we're at? I use my mouse
Yeah.
too much, it goes across them.
Okay. I see them saying yeah, so.
All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing. So you go to this arrow next to video where it says stop video, and you click on it. Ah, there we go. I see Jericho with a different background on his screen. Fantastic. So you can change, it says choose virtual background. Does everybody see that? Ah, there we go. I see a couple of you doing the different backgrounds. Fantastic. So it's not next to the speaker with a red line through it. It's going to be right, the little arrow next to the video. Somebody's on what, a spaceship it looks like, and grass and different things. So if you guys can play with that just for a second. Do you see that, Curtis? Where it
Oh,
says
my
choose-
friends, you have the little video camera looking thing, and then when you like put your finger, when you tap, there's that little arrow. You
Oh.
tap that arrow, and then it says choose virtual background. Okay.
And then you can choose a green screen, I guess, and import pictures. You can do all kinds of stuff on it if you play on that. Mine is, I'll do it just for fun with the same thing. We'll see if it works on I'm using a regular computer, so it might be just a little bit different. Hey, there we go.
And then mine, for some reason, I go there and it says I have none. So I don't know. Maybe I need to update mine again.
Yeah, right. See, mine was downloading a virtual package. It just took me a second to download.
Okay. Yeah, mine hasn't done that yet. So,
Hmm.
so for any of my friends, if it's not working for you, double check and make sure that you guys have updated everything, because I think I need to update mine.
Okay. Thank you. All right, we'll keep going, you guys.
Crystal, I'll unmute you. What's your question?
You want me to stop?
How do you do that? I don't know which one to push.
Oh,
Okay,
so-
I'm on the arrow.
Okay, and then it says choose virtual background. It's the one that starts with the letter C. CH.
CH. I don't really see that.
Okay, so even when we have Zoom again tomorrow, we can talk about it too, okay?
Okay, well at 8:30.
At 8.
8.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I think Mr. Perez's internet must have frozen because he disappeared.
Oh, no.
Oh, wait, there you are. Okay, you're good.
Am I here? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, guys, this is what we're going to do. Everybody's going to type something in the chat for us so we know how to use the chat. If you just type your name in or hi or something like that, you spell it out H-I, you can do that also. Let me exit the full screen. And was I sharing or no? No. That's what the problem was. Sorry, guys. Let me go back.
Settings, you may or may not be able to send individual messages to other chat
There we
window.
go.
So if you move your mouse down to the bottom of the screen, there is a participants button that will give you a list of the other people in the meeting. You can see I'm just dialed in on multiple computers here. That's why you see my name more than once. And you also have a chat window. And here you can type messages to the rest of the people in the meeting. Depending on your host's settings, you may or may not be able to send individual messages to other people.
All right, so that's what we're going to do. And was there volume that time too, Miss Salazar? Okay. All right, so now I'm going to stop sharing. Going back and forth, I forgot to share with you guys again. That was terrible. All right, I need everybody to click on participants on the bottom. I think mine says there's 15 people today. Click on participants, and then you can see on the side of who's here today, all your friends who are here. Then go back and hit chat. I see some people are already doing it. Click on chat and type your name in the chat. You have to move your mouse over on the bottom. Some of you I know where they had questions before, how do I show chat? So you move your mouse to the bottom of the screen in the chat, you click on it, so the cursor is flashing, and then you type. And then once you're done typing, you hit enter and it comes up. So there's a few things that you're gonna have to do in the chat box. Perfect, Isabella. See some of you doing it. So click on chat in the bottom of the screen on the toolbar first, then the chat comes up. Type in, move your mouse over there and type in your name or something. Scarlett, Curtis, can you guys do that for me? Type something in the chat. Scarlett, can you type in something in the chat for me, please? Oh, I saw you already did earlier when you signed in. Thank you, Scarlett. All right, you guys, how about a thumbs up if you've typed something in the chat? Thumbs up for a chat. Fantastic. So you guys know how to do that. Do you use that too, Miss Salazar, already? Yeah, okay. Perfect. Chat, share screen. I think we're good on all the different things that we'll be using. Let me share a screen and we'll do one short video then on kind of the rules for Zoom meetings, which you guys are already following perfect, but we'll just review real quick before we head out for the day. Share screen. Move us around. Sorry guys, just 1 second. We'll go to our next one, Zoom etiquette, and then we'll close our assembly like we would normally do.
Welcome to your classroom. Usually, when we start school, we're able to meet our friends and our teacher in a classroom in the school building. This year will be a little bit different. We'll see our friends and our teacher on the computer, or as we like to say, virtually. Let's talk about our virtual class rules. We have 4 rules. Number 1, be ready. 2, go to your study area. 3, microphone muted, camera on. 4, be respectful. Number 1, be ready. This means being on time, being dressed, and having a smile on your face, ready to learn. Number 2, go to your study area. We want you to have a nice, quiet place where you can work with no distractions, no toys, no TV, no food. Rule number 3, microphone muted, camera on, so you can see your teachers and your friends. Rule number 4, be respectful. This means raising your hand when you want to speak, listening to your teacher and classmates, and really thinking about your learning. With these 4 rules, we'll be ready to learn, ready to have fun, and able to learn just as much as we would if we were in a classroom with our teacher and classmates.
All right, that was simple, right? And you guys were already doing that today. But it did remind me before we go let me exit again. Excuse me. Let me get back to where we want to be. I'll stop sharing. All right, you guys, if you click on participants, can everybody do that for me? You'll have a little bar that comes across of raising your hand. That was one of our rules. And you can either raise your hand this way, but you can also raise your hand on your screen. Can you guys do that for me? Show me how to raise your hand on the screen. Do you know the button for raising your hand? I see Crystal and some other students actually raising your hand, so that's one way. If you click participants, I'm going to try it and see. Oh, it only shows me on the other one. I think it's, okay, so it's a reaction, I guess that's what I was saying. So on the bottom bar, click on reaction. Scarlett, can you raise your hand or give me a thumbs up, Scarlett, with the reaction button on the bottom? Perfect, so she can do it. So Ms. Salazar, do they have it on the iPad? Do you know?
It should. Let me see here. Yes, my friends are doing it too. My friends that have iPads are doing it. So
okay.
I think we're
I see
good.
some of you are raising your hand like Crystal is, but I want you to raise your hand.
Click the icon, like the little emoji. There's little emojis.
There you go. The
Click
emoji.
the emoji.
Do you see there's a little smiley face with a
And
plus?
See these hands, guys? You guys can maybe, I don't know if you guys can see them, but I can see.
I got my hand up. So that's how I was thinking. Or I guess he's maybe clapping. Maybe that's it. I guess it's not a hand raise. They're clapping, right? Can you guys do what I have on? So you, on the bottom bar, move your mouse, go to the bottom. There's a smiley face with a plus sign. Can you click on that? And then once you click on the smiley face, there you go.
You got
Some
it.
emojis come up. Hey, perfect. There you go. You get a crying, you get all kinds of different things. There, see that I'm happy, right? Celebrating. You can do a heart. You can do all kinds of different ones, okay? So, perfect, you guys. So that's one thing. If we said raise our hand or a thumbs up, is like, did everybody get it? You can do a thumbs up that way too, is on the reaction side. So fantastic. Yay. All right. Good job, you guys. Curtis, give me a thumbs up. No, on the reactions on the bottom, Curtis. 2 thumbs up. No. On the bottom, hit the little smiley face and the plus, Curtis. And then there's a little thumbs up there. Do you see on the bottom bar? You see it? We can do it. Do you see the thumbs up next to my face? I have a thumbs up. That's what I'm asking for. Scarlett, good job today. I can help. You don't see it on the bottom. I can help you. We can share a screen and we can do it later, Curtis. Fantastic job, you guys. All right. Is there any questions for us before we go?